Yoni steaming is also known as vaginal steaming, and it's been around for ages, decades. Women have been doing this since like the beginning of time, herbal steaming. And it's a very sacred, feminine, self-love practice that allows you to connect with your sexuality. It allows you to heal anything going on in the yoni, whether it's energetic, whether it's biological, physical. So what would happen during a yoni steam is you would take plants, herbs, flowers, submerge them in water. You typically want the plants, herbs, and flowers to be organic. You don't want them to have any sort of chemicals or pesticides on them, and you can find those at like any local herbal organic farm. So what you would do is you would submerge these plants and herbs into the water. You would boil it, let it come to a boil. Once it starts to boil, you'll just turn it down, let it simmer for 5 to 10 minutes. And then once that's done, you can turn the stove off completely and just let it steep and sit for 5 to 10 minutes. Once that's done, you can transfer the water, the steeped water, into a bowl, or you could leave it in the pot, but I would recommend putting it in a bowl so that when you do stand over it or squat over it, you don't burn your legs on the pot. If all you have is a pot, that's fine. You could just put like a cloth around the rim of the pot. But yeah, basically what you would do is just stand over this steam or squat over the steam, whatever's comfortable for you, and to do it slowly so that you can feel the intensity of the steam, and if you need to wait a little bit longer for it to cool down. But the whole point is to allow your yoni to be exposed to the herbal steam, because the volatile oils and the medicinal properties of the plants are traveling through the steam and into your yoni. So they're traveling through your vagina, your tissues, your bloodstream, and it is then moving into your reproductive system, which is healing you on so many different levels. It's beautiful for fertility, it's beautiful for alleviating menstrual cramps, postpartum healing, and relieving and releasing energy from other partners. So you're really clearing out them STDs, and I'm not talking about sexually transmitted diseases, but spiritually transmitted demons, because you want to make sure that you're not carrying energy of past partners who may have been toxic, and that's leaking into your emotions, because your emotions are very much so governing the sacral chakra as well, and things like that. So yeah, yoni steaming is very beautiful, and I love it. And these are some blends that I made. This is chamomile, rose petals, and wormwood, all really good cleansing, disinfecting herbs for the yoni. Yeah, I was talking with Nikki off camera a little bit about womb cosmology and why women are so oppressed, and why we're so demonized. And it's because not many people know this, but womb cosmology was celebrated by both men and women. And most people ask me, like, well, why was it celebrated? And well, why do you think? And you can walk into some cathedrals and see that a lot of the architectural designs are set up to resemble the yoni. So this book goes into greater detail about that, and I highly recommend it, because it does alleviate some of that pressure of like demonizing yourself because society tells you to, and just remembering why you're being demonized in the first place. It's because you're powerful. You're powerful, you're beautiful, and that's really it. Okay, so the first thing you want to do for yoni steam is ask yourself, why am I pursuing a yoni steam? What is it that you need? What does your body need? Is it more physical? Do you need to alleviate some infections? Do you need to bring more moisture into the yoni if you're experiencing dryness? Or is it more spiritual? Do you feel like you just got out of a toxic relationship and you need to relieve your previous partner's energy from your yoni? So there are different herbs for this. There are cleansing herbs, in which we have motherwort and rose. Those are really great for clearing out any previous uterine lining. So it really helps to clear out anything that doesn't belong and allows you to feel more refreshed. So those are really cleansing herbs. Then there are disinfecting herbs. Those are things like lavender and sage. Those help you to clear out toxins, restore your pH balance, and create a healthy microbiome for the vagina. Then there are blood building herbs, and those are things like oat straw and raspberry leaf. Those are really, really good for replenishing the blood after your period, after you've lost some blood, from shedding that energy and losing that life force. The yoni steams are really great for that, for blood building herbs. to bring that blood back into balance. And then there are hydrating herbs, things like nettle, lemon balm. Those are really good for pulling the nutrients of water that your reproductive system may need as far as hydration and moisture. So yeah, you just got to ask yourself what herbs are best for me, because that is what you're going to be using for your steam. So right here I have from Mama Gaia's Apothecary, my herbal apothecary, a Moon Magic blend. This has rose hips, rose buds, chamomile, and wormwood. So this is a multi-purpose blend. It's good for all of these things. So yeah, first thing we're gonna do is get you a nice hefty pot like this one. You're gonna fill it up with water. You're gonna open this up and you're gonna pour your blend in here like so. Okay. Nice, beautiful, bright color. Once your pot is filled with the herbs mixing with the water, you're gonna head over to the stove and crank this baby up all the way to high so that you can bring your pot to a nice boil. So once it gets to a boil, you're going to turn the heat down a little bit and let it simmer, let it steep, let the herbs steep into the water, let the volatile oils and the medicinal properties of the plants seep into the water. Once that is done, for 5 to 10 minutes, you're letting it steep. You want to turn the stove off and just let it cool off for 5 to 10 minutes so we're not alarming our yonis with scorching hot steam. So once you let it cool off for a few minutes, you want to put it on the ground. You can transfer it into a bowl so that when you go to sit or squat, you don't burn your legs around the edges. Or if you don't have a bowl, I've definitely done this before. I've taken a scarf or a blanket of some sort and just kind of drape it around like this. And I've taken like a big rubber band just to keep it in place and hold it there. If you don't have a bowl, if you have a bowl, then you can very much so transfer the water into a bowl. Some women put the bowl in their toilet to sit in their toilet, close the seat and sit down on it that way. It really depends what you have at your disposal and what resonates with you. But the bottom line is to get it into a space where you can safely stand over it or squat over it. And when you go to squat or sit, you want to do it nice and slowly so that you can feel if the steam is a good temperature for your yoni. If it's a little bit too hot, just give it a few more minutes and just, enter the steam when you're ready. So the next step after that, you want to undress from the waist down. So you could undress from the waist down, or you can get completely naked. It's whatever resonates with you or whatever you can do at the moment, if you're not alone, whatever it may be. But I like to stand over it. So what I'll do is I'll just stand over it like this and make sure that my yoni is exposed to the steam so that it can come up and interact with my yoni. And this is actually a perfect dress to wear for something like this, because you do want to make sure that you have, the walls surrounding your legs closed off so the steam can actually come into the yoni and not escape. You can do this with a towel, you can do this with a sheet, a blanket, or anything like that. And what's really helpful for me is I have this yoni seat so I can make it nice and comfortable for myself. This is from Embrace Pangea. It's handcrafted and it's made of pine wood. And so this is perfect to just plop right here. And so that's how I do it at home. I'll just, sit. You can do anything to set up the environment beforehand to light candles, burn some sage, some incense, have some crystals around, some beautiful music playing. You could pick up a book and read and just chill and, just let the steam hit the yoni, whatever it is that you want to do. But it's a meditative experience and it is a sacred feminine self-love care practice. So enjoy the steam. And know that your vagina is being healed from all sorts of imbalances, physical, spiritual, emotional, chemical, everything. And so, that's pretty much the entire process of a yoni steam. I hope that you guys gained some clarity through learning a little bit about this, and that you pursue a yoni steam for yourself, because it's truly healing and it can empower you to the point where you're no longer scared of your sexuality and you actually embrace your divine femininity fearlessly. So that's all for me.